like jump into is about like basically about your lifestyle and your mindset. So probably you can like talk to us like about your 8 to 5 during your weekdays, especially like what do you usually do, and yeah, what are you about, man? Yeah.
Yeah, man, like let me tell you here. So pretty much like every day when I wake up, I like to like meditate, listen, motivational stuff. Because like believe it or not, like starting off your day right, it gets you like ready for it. Listening to motivational videos. I like to listen to Tony Robbins, stuff like that. Get in the like cold shower, get uncomfortable, and get ready for my day. So
Push.
that's my daily routine for that. And then like I don't start doing business till like 12 in the afternoon. I like to spend my mornings working out, spending time, with my family, and then is when I get to business.
That's cool. That's cool and all. Like because like you are a big like it seems like you consume a lot of like Tony Robbins content. Like what is like the a few big parts about like Tony Robbins content that like resonates with you or that you actually make a lot of use from it?
I mean, what I like about Tony Robbins is again, he's like the motivational guy that like his message of the unleash the power within, and it all starts with you, like the mindset and how your attitude is towards everything. So I like to always be positive, and like if something goes wrong, I like to always get back and do something better. And one of my coaches told me that, like, said always tells me, you could have a out of the 365 days, you could have 50 good days and you'll still be successful. So I don't see, I like being like always positive and always trying to improve my business. And another great guy that I'm always listening to is Gary Vee. That's like one of the main guys I look up to right now. And I'm pretty sure you do too. He's literally content, like all the content stuff and everything you're doing. And it's awesome right there.
Yeah, it's like super awesome and all that. Because I believe I watched like one of like Tony Robbins content on the Netflix. There's like one documentary and it's like super powerful, like the event that he hosts, and he just changed people's life and all that. And I just find it like wow, it's really powerful, like he just um change it just shift people's mindset, perspective, and all that, and get them into the zone and all that. It's just so wonderful to actually watch and all that. I think like towards like meditation and all that. Like, what do you think about all those though? Like like you doing this morning rituals, like morning routine, where you actually do your meditation. What do you think about all those? Yeah, since you do that a lot.
I mean, I think it's really good because it gets you into that zone. Also, another thing I forgot to mention is
Right.
every time I wake up, I like to read 30 minutes a day. So news that's happening all around the world, happening locally, everything. I like to read business news. I read that, and then I'll read books. Like right now, I'm reading Sour Be Sold from Grant Cardone, and so far I'm enjoying it. I just finished reading one of my coach's books. It's called wait no, I'm reading so I'm reading Sour Be Sold. I'm reading too many. I just finished too many. Which is the book I just finished? No, I'm reading that one now. Well, I finished it a while ago. Oh yeah, it was JT Fox's book. Yeah, on Millionaire Underdog.
Cool, cool, cool. So you're like into all this like different books. So you're like a book reader, right? Like you're a reader.
Yeah,
That's how
I
you
have
actually learn.
exactly. Think and Grow Rich is another great book. All these books get you already like thinking of like your financial intelligence. So it's very important, and people don't talk about that. Another book I read, Rich Dad Poor Dad, from Robert Kiyosaki. It's an amazing book.
Yeah, he's an amazing author, in general.
Exactly. Once you start reading these type of books, you start getting the feeling of okay, like what I've been taught my whole life, it's nothing compared to the financial literacy, financial intelligence I'm getting. So you need to start getting out there, getting coaches, mentors, and that's literally what I do. I surround myself with like-minded people that are into business, and that really helps you when you start mind feeding and getting content from Tony Robbins, Gary Vee. I listen to Grant Cardone. So that really is helpful. And coming back to like the morning routines, the meditation is good. I don't know if it works for everybody,
Yeah,
but I see a trend that everybody does. Like successful people, they always tell me in the mornings, mind feed, listen to like positive stuff, and it would actually help you out during your day, and you'll see more productivity throughout the day.
definitely.
So
I mean, like
exactly,
it sets up the your day like in a very positive mood. You know, like you feeling the nature, you breathing, having the more oxygen into your lungs and all that is it just feels good, you know. Yeah. And then at one point of the conversation, you actually talk about like you having more like a self awareness towards like different perspective after reading books like Think and Grow Rich, this type of books that self helps you and getting into a different perspective as compared like what you were told in the past, like I don't know, like a society, parents, friends, and all that. So self awareness is like a big component that I'm huge on, and I like to take from your perspective. Like, what do you think about like self awareness? Like you learning about like different perspective, especially getting into the perspective of like, oh, you can have like the perspective of from the author Robert Kiyosaki, like having this perspective of like you got to like work in a different way as what the norm is telling you and all that. Yeah, what do you think about all those?
yeah. I mean, what I think is like you see that like the difference when you surround yourself with the norm and with these type of people. Like for example, they always tell me misery likes to bring. They want misery. They want So like all these people around you, they're all. I like to like. I don't like to say it like in this way, but they're broke. When you surround yourself with like these type of people and listen to them, you start to understand like wow, like everything I've been learning my whole life is not for me.
Right,
I normal. I want to be like these people.
right,
They don't. People. So this self awareness, like wow, like I could be successful because the norm is teaching you go to school, get a job, and they teach you to live that mediocre life. That at the end of the day, like the 9 to 5, the rat race, do you really have money? Are you financially free? Are you really happy? And most people don't understand that. And Gary Vee always says, it's not about how much money you have, but it's about being happy. So 'cause I've seen rich people that are unhappy and it's not worth it. Like three things I look for is that you need to have is money, time, and health. I feel like for me those are three main important components because if you don't have any, like you could have money and no time and it's useless. So for me, like you need to have money, time, and health for you to have a good life and happy life.
right,
That you can.
right. One area that I like to jump upon is that you know, like we having like this like a bigger perspective of like uh the way we look at life, like we prioritize a lot towards like happiness. Like I used to have like this perspective of like thinking that money will like bring us like somewhere magical, somewhere like a very happy place. But you know, after getting perspective from people like Gary Vee, Tony Robbins and all that, and it just broadens our perspective. And this is a big component that I'm big on, which is taking your micro losses, which I always like term it as micro L's. So is there any like micro events that actually happen through during your life, like any micro L's that you have, like micro losses that you think that you have, yeah, that you can share, like you are probably in the past you don't have like a good perspective like towards like having a job, your 8 to 5 have to be like something that you hate to do or what's or not, yeah, anything that you think that you have like overcome in your life journey, yeah.
Well, I mean, I barely understood you there because like the connection is kind of unstable. But I think what I understood was that what has my perspective changed towards money?
Yeah,
Is that
like yeah, any sort of like things that you have learned throughout your life journey, like in the past that you probably didn't have this type of perspective, and then now you think you are in a greater place. Yeah,
so? Now let me tell you like what's been happening with me. So like like when growing up, I wasn't born like poor. I was actually born already into my dad had money. Like they were rich. So I wasn't born poor, but unfortunately he lost all his money.
right,
So we went broke basically. So that's when I started realizing like when you have money, like you really need money to like get through life. Or like you could be happy with no money, but there's a big difference. And what I learned was that anybody can make money. It's so easy to become a millionaire. The hardest part is maintaining that money. Anybody could make the money. The hardest part always is to keep that money. And what I learned was that in order to like keep money, you need the financial intelligence. So when I got that, I was like, wow, like that's when my parents went broke because they didn't have that financial intelligence. My dad was a baseball player, so he got the money. He was playing baseball, but he didn't understand about money. So that's when I realized I was like, wow, like I need to get into business and learn. And the first book I ever read was Rich Dad Poor Dad, and from there was when I started learning about money and how money works. Because it's not how much you make, but it's how much you keep. So like listening to Robert Kiyosaki and start listening to all these powerful business gurus and stuff like that,
right,
I was wow, like you need to have an understanding of money because if you don't, then you'll never make the money because you won't even know how to do it or keep it. Just like for example, lottery winners, the majority of them they make money and they'll lose it. Because they weren't prepared for it. They didn't have that financial literacy.
right,
And that's really important. Like that's like one of the most important things in order for you to maintain your wealth and you know
yeah,
and like an investment on yourself is the best investment you could ever make. And I started realizing that now like a couple years ago because growing up I didn't know about any of that. My
right,
parents never. So it was crazy because I started seeing it on Instagram, like Gary Vee. I'm like, oh, who's this guy? And then I started, like, wow, like I need to surround myself with these type of people.
right.
So that's how like I started my journey of
Cool.
that entrepreneurship.
Cool. Yeah. Like fast forward like today like towards like your lifestyle because you say you like you're in a like this digital marketing agency or whatsoever, right?
Yeah,
Am I correct?
yeah,
Oh yeah. So like how is it like you juggling with life right now? Like is there any sort of like struggles like in terms of like mindset like do you like struggle with like self negative doubts or negative comments that's coming from the outside like basically life in general like is there anything that you are hot onto? Yeah.
of course. I mean, there's always gonna be those negative people around you, either friends, family. They're always gonna be negative, because again, they're not successful and they don't want to see you succeed. And unfortunately, everybody that surrounds you, they're all negative. And you wouldn't want to hang out with those type of people because once you start hanging out with negative people, it just brings you down. So that's why I started hanging out with people that are more successful than me because like they say, you are the average of the five people you surround yourself with. So like I always think about it is your network is your net equals your net worth. So I go to a lot of workshops. Again, I have mentors, coaches, and I just keep myself around that circle and that group of people that are on the same mission as me. Because you don't like, for example, like the people around you are gonna say, "Oh, you're a dreamer," because they don't believe you can succeed or make it or become a millionaire because they didn't like or they weren't able to do it because again they were taught to go to school, get a job, and live a normal life. But what they don't see is they call me a dreamer, but they don't understand I'm a visionary. That's what I like to like look at it in that way. So
Right.
yeah, you wouldn't want to surround yourself with negative people because negative people always bring you down, no matter what it is. So you're gonna have to start cutting. Like I started cutting friends, family. Like you just don't want to spend time with them. So what I can tell you is surround yourself with people that are more successful than you, right? So like never take advice from someone that's below you. And everybody that's always like talking bad about you is below you. Because people that are more successful than you, they don't really care. They want to see you succeed. So they will never talk bad about you. And but those are the type of people you want to listen to advice from. If they're more successful than you, then you can take advice from them. And that's how I've been changing my perspective and like
Cool.
going towards.
Right, cool,
Yeah.
cool, cool. So like I like to like switch it up into like a more like if you're comfortable like sharing about like your personal experience, because personally whenever like I probably I can give you an example of like a self-doubt event that I actually have, which is that for instance like whenever someone like made a very sort of like a personal comment and all that kind of stuff saying that Jack like Jack, you are like being bad. You are bad at this doing this management of kind of like managing these people over here, and they will like make these type of comments, and I will actually think about comments like this, and I will like have quite a bit of a self-doubt. I don't know where the negative thoughts comes by. And do you have like any encounters recently that you've been thinking about a lot towards like anything or sort of, yeah.
No, I mean me, like I don't let negative comments get to me. And so far nobody really comes up to me to tell me something bad.
Cool.
And again, like I like, for example, like my team and stuff like that, and how Gary says I have that open door policy. Like I don't take anything to heart. Like if someone tells me I need to improve, I'm gonna improve. Like you get me? Like I wouldn't get mad if someone tell or constructive criticism. If someone tells me, oh, like you're doing this bad or you're not managing right or you're not being a good leader, I'm always trying to improve myself. So if someone tells me, oh, you need to be a better leader, I always ask, okay, so like what am I doing wrong? And I try to get better. So that constructive criticism actually like it improves me and like I don't take it to like in a bad way. I actually like getting feedback and knowing what I'm doing bad so I could actually become like great at what I do.
So yeah, Yandy, like so say if someone comes to you and say that you are bad at managing like one aspect of your area of your life, how is your like thought process gonna be like? Will you like take a step back, because it is as important not to get it affected by it, but you also have to be like sort of take the good part of it. Like every comments sometimes there is always like a positive kind of like a thing into it, right? Like it may be a positive comment. So how do you actually like balance between like totally like neglecting about it, not letting the negativity affect you, and also taking the feedback that actually helps you to be a better version of yourself, yeah.
So I mean, like I mentioned earlier, if they're below me and they're not successful,
Right,
be all negative all they want, but I won't even listen to them.
right.
So this feedback or this negative comment has to come from someone that's above my level. You know, because if someone comes as a nobody or someone that's not even successful comes up to me saying that I suck at this or whatever, like I don't care because at the end of the day, like they're not even successful. So like for example, if Tony Robbins were to come to me and say, "Oh, like you suck at this, and that," I'll be like, "All right, you know what? You're right. I'll take a course on management or whatever it is that I'm not good at or any skills that I lack. You'll see me watching videos, going to workshops. Like I'll try to get better at that. So
Mm.
like if someone tells me something positive, then I'll take that positive feedback and say, okay, it's good, but I could always improve. So I'll balance it like yeah, I'll combine like anything negative and positive. Like if someone tells me like the same thing and says I'm good at this and someone else tells me I'm bad at this, that then I'll see okay. And I'll try to improve a little more and try to make it better. Because I don't want to like someone like or like if I'm managing or whatever, I don't want them to like feel like I suck. Like I always want to help people.
Right.
No matter like if all like I'm doing something bad, like I also do it for the people like that surround me. I want to help them out too. So again, if I'm doing bad and my team could do bad, so I need to be on my best performance, so my team can be on on their best.
Cool,
So that's pretty much how I do stuff.
cool. Like you actually mentioned previously during the conversation that you actually talk about like you cutting friends and all that. Like how has it been so far? Like for you, like how do you think you're like managing like your lifestyle and all that by cutting friends and all that? Does it like brings you in a much of a happier state, more consistently or what's or not? How has it been? Yeah, so far.
I mean, honestly, like you don't really like at the end of the day, yeah, they're your friends, but you don't like I don't really call them or like the negative people. I don't even I cut them off basically. I don't need them like in my life. They're just gonna bring me down
Right,
and bring business down. But I can tell you, like going to workshops and hanging out with like-minded people, it's a thousand times better. Like I've made so many friends in like the past month,
right.
incredible. Like it's true. Like the people that are on the same mission as you, they're like-minded. Man, those are the type of people you want to hang around with. Everybody wants to help each other out, and they all want to succeed. So like hanging out with like surrounding yourself with all this positivity and like all these people, like I'm telling you, yourself personally, you would get better, and your business, everything will get better. Your life will get better, and you'll have open like doors opening from any like place. So it's good. Like all these negative friends, you don't need them. Like it's always good. Like you start meeting people that are on the same mission as you, and it's incredible what it could do to your life. In a matter of a month, I've met so many people going to workshops and doing all these type of things that you build lifelong relationships, and those are the type of friends you need.
Cool.
So it's not affecting me that I'm cutting off those negative friends because I'm gaining so many positive friends that like that personal development is awesome.
Cool, cool, cool. So it almost feels like to me that like your lifestyle is like pretty much in a very happy state, you know. So what is for Yandy, what is like the forward looking like the things that is up front in front of you right now? What are the things that you are looking forward to? Because you are in such a happier state. I feel like you're in momentum, you know, like you're happy, you feel like you're with those like-minded people which uplifts you a lot. Like yeah, what's gonna be forward in front of you right now? Like what are the things you're looking forward to? Yeah.
My goals right now is to keep growing my business. I want to scale my marketing agency, and right now I'm writing a book. So like I want to start already like make it like getting bigger. I want
Right.
to get into real estate. At the end of the day, I just turned 20, so it's not like they're giving me money like my parents because like at the end of the day they don't have money. So I've been doing this myself. I've been investing in myself and been getting all this knowledge and I'm learning, so that's how like that little success I've been getting. I've been getting it through my self investment, reading books, getting the mentors, the coaches. Those are the type of people that have been bringing me up. So what I have for my future plans and go like my goals is make my business scale it. Like I want to compete with Gary Vee. His agency is great, but I want to compete with him. I want to be a speaker, so I want to be in Tony Robbins level. I wanna do all these things and like surround myself with like Tony Robbins, Gary Vee, and be like at their level. Because right now I have so much to keep improving. Yeah, I could be happy, like everything is going good right now in the beginning, but I'm just in in that beginning stages. I'm nowhere near where I want to be. So again, like where Gary Vee's at, his agency, that's my goal to be my agency. I wanna then speak on stages like Gary Vee and and help people out and bring my message to thousands of people how Gary Vee does. I just want to change people's lives.
So you talk about like all this passion, and I feel that you are very passionate, like skilling the things that you actually want to do, getting into this Tony Robbins level. And what is like the big driver that actually push you really that you want to actually do that? Because you also mentioned about like you helping people, you really wanting to help people and all that. Yeah, like what is all these things all about? Yeah, that,
Yeah, honestly, my main reason why I want to do all this stuff is because growing up, I had nobody to guide me.
right,
coach me or like tell me I need to do this or about that. Money, like nobody ever taught me anything growing up. I've literally learned some random guy, Gary
Yeah,
Vee, pop up
right,
on my feed, and I was like, oh. So once I started learning all this, I started getting the coaches and the mentors, and I started getting into that entrepreneurship lifestyle. So again, growing up, I had no knowledge of that and the importance of financial literacy. So now that's my future right there. That's what I want to do for the future. I want to help people and get them from a young age so they can start understanding that self education should be the future. Because I dropped out of college because I wasn't learning anything. I was learning more from all my coaches and mentors and going to workshops, seminars than I learned my whole life in school. So I really changed my perspective and like, wow, like I want to be a coach. I want to be a mentor. I want to help people and help them understand that they need this financial literacy and how they could get financial freedom and be happy. Because believe it or not,
right,
people get into arguments, relationships, marriages because of money. So yeah, people say money doesn't make you happy, but in reality, if you have money, you'll be happier. And I can tell you that from experience. When I was born into a rich family, and
right,
then they went broke because no financial intelligence, no financial literacy. And compared to that, I knew that I rather have money. So now that's what I want to do. I want to help people and encourage them to become an entrepreneur. It's better than having a 9 to 5 job. Don't get me wrong. There are people that love their 9 to 5 and
right,
they're happy. That's fine. I'm not saying anything bad about it, but I think being an entrepreneur is worth it and it pays off at the end.
right. Definitely. So, one last question that I'd like to ask you is like, what is like actually like a lifestyle that you're having right now that actually push you forward to reaching your goals? You know, like what do you think is the things that you're, because you talk about like you having like coaches, mentors, uh you going to webinars, workshops to actually self-improve yourself. Yeah, like what are the things that you actually consistently do on a regular basis that actually help you to push you forward to reach your goals that you actually want to have? Yeah,
So, I mean, pretty much that. Like, I just got back from a workshop
right,
this week, and I go to workshops, seminars, literally every month. So that's where I invest most of my money to is going to all these seminars, speaking to my coaches, getting coached, surrounding myself with other entrepreneurs, coming up with businesses, because just that's another thing. When you hang out with these type of people, you create more business opportunities. So and it opens doors, like I said earlier, like
right,
maybe be an investor to your real estate properties. So that like it's not what you know, it's who you know. So hanging out with all these people, it gets you close. It gets me closer to my goals because in the future they could always help me out. But that's pretty much what I do. Like every day, I'm watching videos on how to get better myself, on how to improve. I'm reading books, uh, and that's pretty much it. Like get content, mind feed, and then create my own content. So, like I told you, I'm writing my book now
right,
because I'm writing a couple books. Well, I'm trying to finish my first one, but I already have the like 3 books already written down, like of like the outlines. So I'm finishing my first book now because I want to get that message out to people on
right,
how they can better themselves and become financially free. Because that's like the most important for me,
right,
financial. So many people live paycheck to paycheck, and I can tell you like it sucks. Like I've went through it, and it's not something you want to do. So what I always tell people is invest in themselves. You could lose your money tomorrow. You could lose all your money, but you'll never lose your knowledge.
right,
That'll stay with you forever. So just invest in yourself, mind feed, and take all this great content. Now you have YouTube, you have podcasts, and they're all free.
right,
So if you I don't have money, bullshit. Go to YouTube, go to Gary Vee's page. Like there's so much thing to do and to get this financial literacy. Read books. I'm telling you, from Rich Dad Poor Dad, I've learned so much, and I didn't even have to pay for it. I literally got it from online, free PDF.
Right.
So people can't say, "Oh, I don't have money." People are full of excuses, and that's what's stopping them. All these excuses. And my coach always tells me speed of implementation, it's really important. So when you think of an idea or something, go do it. If you wait for it, you'll never succeed.
Definitely.
So
Definitely.
that's it. Like you learn so much from all these people that like even your language, everything, your thoughts, your perspective about life, it all changes. And I can tell you that because I'm literally going through it right now.
Mm.
So surround yourself with successful people and people that will encourage you to do better.
Yeah, definitely. Like basically like surround yourself with like those positive energy, it actually will like push you forward to become like a better version of yourself and all that. So
Exactly.
with that said, like thank you for like joining me doing this podcast together. You know, it's I have a great time, like sharing this wisdom from you to me and all that, and sharing to the people who actually listens to this podcast and all that. Yeah. Thank you, man. Like thank you for like joining me. Yeah.
Yeah, Jack, thank you for having me.
Yeah, cool.
I but let me see.